number 7. We back in the building again. This is actually the 8th. This is like the 8th week, but we on week 7. So welcome back again, y'all. We missed y'all last week. We had some dope callers call in last week too. I know we ain't put that one out, but that was kind of like a little chill night. Wanted to give people a backdoor, view of what goes on behind the scenes at PhilosoMe Talks. But we back again, episode number 7. What's up, fellas?
What's up?
We might put it out as a bonus.
Oh yeah, we can actually. You're right.
Word. But y'all, we got L Boogie and
the smooth grip.
I think people loving that, yo. But we back in the building, man. Glad to have y'all here. Before we even get started, make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure y'all follow, comment, share, man. We need to make sure we know everything we need to know to grow. All right,
Facts.
Y'all help fertilize this thing to make it blossom to what it's supposed to be. But first and foremost, like every week, I want to make a toast, y'all. And today, with all the entrepreneurial talk going on, all the goals that we setting, I want to make a toast to success, 100% manifestation. I want everybody. Yo, y'all took advantage of that full moon yesterday?
Oh, I didn't even know it was a full moon yesterday, yo.
Bruh, if y'all took advantage of the full moon, I want to make a toast to y'all too.
That's probably why I felt different yesterday in certain aspects, man.
We'll talk about that too.
Yeah, that's crazy. We'll talk about that too. A little crazy night.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. So, but I want to make a toast to y'all. I want to make a toast to very high gravitational pulls. I want the frequencies to continue to flow through us, from us to the universe. So toast to everybody. Cheers, fellas.
Cheers.
All right, fellas. So, Grip, you actually made a good statement, man. You said you felt different. Yes, you didn't know it was a full moon yesterday, but both of y'all say y'all felt different yesterday. How y'all felt? What was going on yesterday?
I would say I actually got a lot done yesterday, and I felt passionate to get a lot done. When I say I got a lot done, I got up like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I just got stuff done throughout the whole day. By 12 o'clock, I was done with everything I had to do, and I just felt like motivated to do everything for some reason.
Damn, what about you,
Well, I don't know. I had a little alcohol involved, so I don't know how accurate that energy was. But I don't know if I could get the full credit of it. But
you said you felt different. Yeah. Something was different.
Yeah, something was different.
Yo, but like the way it is, like a lot of people did, and a lot of people ain't noticed, and a lot of people don't understand that the moon is out all day. You just don't see it. Mm-hmm. So that energy, you know how they be like, yo, when the moon is full, the tides are high, like in the ocean, at the beach or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's an energy that full moon is pulling that energy of that body of water up, and it's crashing to create that wave, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your mind works the same way. It's waves. It's just like the Wi-Fi signal, the wireless signal.
Yeah.
It's waves. They can measure your thoughts. You know what I'm saying? They can put scientists, doctors can put something on your head, those little sticky things.
Yeah.
And they can measure the wavelengths of your thoughts. So it's a wave. So when the moon is full, those thoughts, those deep thoughts that you have about yourself and self-worth and acknowledgement and care and stuff like that, they're bigger. It's a stronger pull to the universe.
Okay.
So you naturally start getting things. That's why, like me, the first thing I did, I walked to the park, I meditated at the park, and I walked back. That was the first thing I did that morning. And that's simply because of it being a full moon, and I know what was going to happen. Perfect example, like I said, I wanted to start waking up at 5 o'clock. My body woke me up at 5 o'clock. My alarm didn't go off. My body woke me up at 5 o'clock, but I was like, shit, I'm going to go back to sleep. That was me not listening to the universe. So, but anyway, that's full moons. Yeah, go ahead.
How do you know a lot about like full moons and stuff? Because to be honest, I don't know. I mean, I hear people talk about it, but like it's like you studied it or something. Like you just
nah,
but
bro.
you got but you kind of got to be a little bit interested because the moon is very powerful. Like you said, with the waves and stuff like that.
That's a whole.
You gotta feel like, why the hell this?
Yeah, that's but what I'm saying is like when he talked about it, like he talked about it like he knew what he was talking about, and like when you hear people talk about it, they talk about horoscopes and this and like, yeah, this, that. But I mean, I never heard nobody say anything about when the moon is full that it pulls everything you were saying about the energy with the waves and stuff. I never heard that till tonight, and I'm gonna be honest.
Shit is energy. Yo, but it's people that know way more about me, and I probably ain't even giving the tip of the shit. But from my understanding, what happens to me is about when becoming spiritual. When you become spiritual, you start studying energy, and when you start studying energy, you start to learn what carries what type of energy. Like in between the moon and the ocean, we don't see shit, but it's something in between there that's pulling the fucking water to the moon. You know what I'm saying? That's that energy that we don't see. And
so if somebody want to start studying that, what would be your recommendation for them to start? Where would you tell them to start?
I would tell them to start meditating. Like, cause that's the easiest and the cheapest thing.
But how though? I mean, cause I meditated a couple times, but I mean, I felt a lot calmer. But I mean, cause I'm saying what you're saying, like, where do you start to understand all of this stuff and to understand why you meditate and what you meditate about? What would you recommend to like somebody to start to understand all of that?
Well, I will first start and tell people that meditation is a practice, just like working out a muscle. Like you gotta work it out over and over and over again to get it stronger. So if you meditate one time and you say if you feel a difference, that's amazing because you ain't gonna go to a gym and bench one time and say you can feel a difference. Like that shit ain't just gonna happen. So
just to poke out some more.
Temporarily, you might get that pump. You might get that pump, but it ain't gonna make no lasting changes.
Got you.
When you meditate, it's gonna be difficult. Mind gonna keep wandering off multiple times during the meditation. When you first start, you just want to be aware when your mind is going off. That's the practice. So once you start becoming aware that your mind drifting off, now you being able to control it and be like, all right, let me pay back attention to my breathing or whatever it is that you focus on. So the more you able to do this, that's mind control. Okay. You controlling your own mind, you becoming more mindful. So your mind is getting stronger. You know what I'm saying?
You use an app or something to meditate? Like, do you use?
It depends.
Okay.
So the Calm app, that's the good app to use. Like that's the app that I started with. So, and I still use it truthfully. So it depends on what I got to do that day. Cause sometimes you need guided meditation. Like sometimes you just don't have the time or you're not in a place to sit and really meditate. Like, cause sometimes I meditate, it's so many different forms. I meditate on my way to work. You know what I'm saying? So,
and what you use the app while you driving or something, or you just meditate just off?
Yeah, I'll use the app while I'm driving because it's guided. Like it gives you different things to meditate about. Like you can meditate about confidence. You got to meet and they got to stress, anxiety, all different types of stuff. Sleep. So they got all that stuff.
People who's listening, they might want to know, like, what's going on in your head when you're meditating. Like, what do you do?
Okay. So for me, I meditate to listen. So I don't nothing go on in my head. Okay, so my daily meditation, there's nothing in my head, but I'm to the point where when I inhale, like if you take a deep breath and then you exhale, that little pause that you got between your inhale and your exhale, I focus on that, something that small, and that clears my mind to everything else. So, but I'm super spiritual at the same time. So I receive different feelings about certain things. Like I kind of get answers. So I'll say when you pray, you're asking. When you meditate, and you're listening. That's how
do you feel like you're getting, like, your energy wise is getting stronger and stronger now?
Yeah, I feel like my mind is getting stronger.
Yeah.
Because that meditation, that shit is mind and body. So it's like if I do what I need to do, like as far as working out, I would definitely be stronger. But with my mind being stronger alone, I can handle things around me, even manipulate things around me because you know how to handle somebody else's energy. People be letting their energy control them. So if you know how to control their energy, you can control them. Like it's a lot of people that come to me and they mad, and I recognize their energy, and then I can manipulate that energy, and they can leave me smiling. Like that's it. That's how that shit works. But you got to be able to control your own mind.
And this Calm app can be found in the App Store, right?
Yeah, I have an Apple product, so it was in the app. It's literally called Calm. CALM.
Yeah, because I just looked it up.
Shout out to them.
Yeah, shout out.
Real. Yo, that's a good start, yo. And then, for me, everybody got their own journey. But for me, I believe that God is an energy. Like I believe that everything was created by energy, and what goes on in outer space, that shit has a pool of energy. So it's important to understand what's going on. Astronomy, I don't know it all, but it's something I'm interested in. It's important to know that shit.
Yeah, the crazy thing you said that, because like, I mean, I had days and I was just like, I really want to know like what's out there, because it's like we watch these videos about the solar system, this, that, and the third. I mean, we all went to school and we learned about that in school, this, that, and the third, and about different planets, this, that, and the third. But it's just like, it's crazy that we're a speck in the whole solar system, and it's just like, I just want to know more about it. Just, I don't know. It's
yeah. You know what's strange? You know how people be having like life-threatening experience, and they say, you know, when they was out cold, their soul left their body, and they was able to see and hear people talk. And I'm thinking, like, is that their energy leaving their body? Is that like,
yo, it is like that, you know, in my uneducated thoughts. Like when your soul, your spirit is an energy. Think about your body, like what you see as a latex glove, right? It's a skin. It's something that you carry around. It's a vehicle. So your spirit is that hand in that glove. When you put your hand in it, it comes to life. You can make it do whatever it is you want it to do. And then when you take it off, you peel it off. Think about a dog that got hit by a car on the side of the street and throw your glove. If you throw your glove, that glove is going to lay as limp as that dog was on the side of the street. So the dog ain't changed. The spirit just left it. And it left it like an empty glove. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how that shit works. So your spirit don't ever die. Like if I ever said like, yo, your spirit don't die, your spirit's still here. That's why you feel people, because it's just the vessel that's gone. That's it.
And it's funny you say that, because lately, really, and I'm being honest about this. Lately, I've been thinking like, so when people die, it's just something I've been thinking about in my head. Do they come back and like relive again? When I say relive, like
reincarnate.
Somewhat, but what I'm saying, like, do they come back and start all over again as an infant? You get what I'm saying? Somewhat.
It's okay. So say it again.
So like when people die, see, like, yeah, when somebody died, they spirit leave, but then they come back to the world again and live it again as an infant, and they start all back over. I was just, I don't know why, but it was just in my head. I was just like, that's interesting. Like, I want to do
reincarnation.
What if the moon pulls your energy out?
It probably does. Yeah, I wouldn't blame it. Like it's reincarnation, bro. Like that's what it is. And I feel like, me personally, I don't ever feel like it's gonna be ever a full understanding of that type of shit. But I feel like number one, if you have kids, you already reincarnated. Like you a part of you, it took a part of you and a part of her to make that child. Now you exist another time. You know what I'm saying? So if you have a kid, you already reincarnated somewhat. A part of your spirit actually impregnated whoever.
Because it's actually a cell out of your body
that bloomed into another human being. So
a woman egg is nothing but an incubator. Not to say not disrespectful. But it's an incubator for the baby to grow.
Yeah.
So let me ask y'all this. Do y'all think like
think of a chicken egg?
And the thing is, a chicken every egg don't got a chicklet in it, yo. Yeah. Like they lay an egg every day. The only way that you can have a chicken can have a chicklet in the egg is if it's a rooster on there, around there somewhere, because they got to get fucked.
I don't know if it's just me, but I actually do be sitting around thinking about stuff like this. Just like, who came up with like all this terminology about things? You get what I'm saying?
Like what, spiritual shit? Like God and Bible and shit?
Like spiritual, and just like with everything we use, like about the solar system, astronomy, all that stuff. Like,
man, it's a lot of history here, bro. It's like right now I'm like going through like Egyptian spirituality, like guidance through Egyptian spirituality. And for them, they didn't have gods. Like their gods were elements. Like the wind was a god. Like this is a god. This is a god. The tree, the sun, like everything living, the elements had they turn the mixture of elements.
Okay.
So if you got wind and this, it creates this God. If you got the sun, they created energies. They turned into God. And like I said, the way they say, this is my studies, and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. If you look at them pyramids, like they're lined up with stars and shit.
It was you I was talking about that.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what is the Great Pyramid of Giza? I want to say. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. But at 12 o'clock, the sun is at the top of the pyramid from each side. Like, that shit is crazy. At 12 o'clock. So they had the mind back then to align shit like that, a big ass pyramid, to align it with the sun. So at noon every day, it's at the top of the pyramid. So they focused on, just like the slaves used the North Star, they used astrology or whatever. They used space to figure out, okay, Mars gonna be here, the sun, the moon gonna look like this. So this is what needs to be done. That's it, because it's gonna affect these elements of the earth.
That was me and you that had that conversation about that, just like how they did all that without the technology we got now, right? I think that was me and you talking about that.
Man, we probably.
The thing is, we lost all that information in our DNA now.
Yo, they put them shit. They left them scrolls and they put the shit on the wall for us to be able to go back and read. Like, it's just
That's
we don't. Nobody don't
but
really
imagine how they did all of that without all these mathematical tools or these.
Nigga, they were mathematicians.
Well, yeah, they were. But I'm saying, like, now we can take something and set it up, and we can say, oh, this is gonna be here. We can send a satellite out there and say this. But they did all that without none of that.
Well, that should be exactly. That show you how much further advanced they are.
And I also feel like that also shows you how powerful your mind can be, or your brain. Like, you can actually do all of that.
Do you think the computer is like? I think there's like a little secret war going on with technology and the human being, like, as far as our mind, because it's literally winning. Because every century it is making us dumber and dumber. Because if you think about it, you could go 10, 15 years ago. We didn't have Google Maps and all that stuff on our phones and stuff like that. And back in the days, we actually knew how to travel between state to state. You know, now there's some people can't even leave outside their city without Google Maps. Like, they don't know how to use it. An 18-year-old can't drive. Not to talk for all, but most 18-year-olds, I don't think, can drive maybe 3 states. And like, go be like, I want you to find this city. Go to this city somewhere.
Well, not
they
even
will have a hard time doing
not
that.
even that, Leon. Let's take it more. Like, if you was to get him a map and say, use this map to get from here to here, would they be able to use it?
I don't know.
I never learned how to really read.
I actually used to use a map, because when I came out of high school, I was working cable and I didn't have GPS. I had a map. So
I will say that's something I learned in, like, between middle school and high school. Like, we did, like, go over how to read a map and how to use a compass to read a map, this, that, and the third, which we don't do that no more.
Yeah.
Like, we don't even teach that no more. But
the more convenient they make everything, bro, the more dependent we become, because people stop learning it. So then you can be controlled. Like, the more dependable they make technology, the easier it is for them to control us.
And that's something I feel like everybody need to learn, like, just how to live without your phone. Because what if one day the whole what you call it, database or whatever, the whole grid just crash?
You know, there's like there's secret theories that there's, like, in the future there's gonna be a war between man and machine and robots. There's gonna be a war between robots and humans. I mean, there's all types of crazy theories. Like, I don't want to get too deep in it, but if you pay attention,
I don't put shit past it, bro.
So what you talking about?
Dumber and dumber.
Like I robot type situation.
Yeah, like, they already got robots that look like human beings and stuff that could think on their own and have full conversations and stuff. Imagine how it is gonna be 10 years from now. How more advanced they're gonna be.
So I will.
It's gonna start off at work, though. They're gonna take the place of the people in the work industry first.
They already do that in Japan.
Yeah. That's what's gonna happen, and then it's gonna everything else.
But y'all agree that certain jobs can't be replaced, though, right?
Amazon.
Certain jobs
I feel like certain jobs can't be replaced. But I don't know. They so advanced in technology these days, bro. It's like they'll figure that shit out.
But we do need to learn. Like I advise anybody that got kids, like y'all do need to teach them the basics, math, how to do math without a calculator, and how to read a map. There's certain things they need to know because I mean, if this grid crash, you got to be able to function as a family. Like you can't just say, "Oh, we ain't got the internet, so hey, we ain't nothing to do." Because kids nowadays they depend on the internet. If the internet crash or the internet go out, they sit around the house bored and mad because they ain't got nothing else to do.
I think everybody should know the compass of the sun. Like,
anything fails.
Yeah.
I would want to learn that. I don't know how to.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what I'm saying. Everybody's a human being.
There's still people out here who can look at the stars and be like, okay, we go this way. Like, how you know that? Like,
for real, bro. Y'all ain't never watched Social Network, and when he was like Eduardo, he made like X amount of dollars, and he made like X amount of dollars in oil or something. Yeah, and she was like, "Yo, how he made that much in a summer?" And she was like, "He's into astrology or some shit like that."
Yeah,
all of that shit play a part into everything, and I don't think we really realize that shit.
But then that touches on a lot, like us as a community, even though like certain things we are getting hip to now, but like we gotta really educate ourselves on it. I feel like we really do gotta educate ourselves on this stuff, and I hate that like now I'm in my 30s, I'm really starting to want to know more. I wish I would have been more curious in my 20s or my late teens to like, yo, I want to know more about this. But we got pushed with so many different directions.
But I'm glad you said that because that's to show you that we generations behind. Because now we could push our kids to do it now. So we're going to be like the founding fathers of this stuff for the next generation because you know, other race, they've been pushed like that for years, generation to years. Just you got your credit. I'm going to put you under my credit card. So by the time you turn 18 and 19, you have an 800 credit score and stuff like that. We didn't get, that didn't happen with us.
Nah, you're right.
No, we're generations behind it on this stuff.
But you definitely got to just educate your kids on that and just, I mean, it's good to be the next engineer to understand how to build this and do this and then the third, but you want to teach people how to function just in case this fails. You can still make this work even if this computer fails.
Oh, yeah. Yo, we gonna be, but look, bro. Yeah, we learned at a late age about a lot of the information that we got access to that we just weren't using.
Yeah.
But we got access. Like that's now it's like, what you gonna do with that shit? Like we got access. Oh, this is a golden nugget. Like, why I ain't know this when I was 20? Shit, ain't shit I could do about that. I know when I'm 30 though, and I'm gonna go ahead and figure this out so I can teach my son that's 13. So by the time he 18, he already 10 years, 12 years ahead of the game. You know what I'm saying? And now that's how you get generational wealth.
This crazy thing is when you get your son learning that young of an age, 13, by the time he's 21, he's going to be teaching you shit because he's going to be hip to all the new technology, all the new social platforms, everything, all the new everything. He's just going to be putting you on the game.
And I do appreciate like the platforms that are out here trying to educate people because I mean that is big. Like once you learn something, try to educate your I hate to say like peers, but try to educate your community on it because that's big. I feel like because a lot of people when they learn stuff, they try to hide it, this and the third. Nah, let's educate people on things. That way, if I win, we all win.
Yo, we got to get out of the mindset that it ain't enough of it out there for all of us. Like, and that I feel like that shit came from slavery too because there was only one person that could stay in the house. It was only enough food for this person. It was only enough. This person can only get free, like shit like that. I read that shit somewhere, but that's a mentality that we got. Like, yo, it's really enough out here for all of us. Share, follow Earn Your Leisure podcast, yo. Like that shit is really starting to spark different things in my mind that I ain't even have access to. I ain't even know existed. So if you listen to us, follow the Earn Your Leisure podcast because that shit will definitely lead you down a financial road that you ain't even realize you have access to.
Some of the knowledge they drop, people spend thousands of dollars to get.
Yeah, bro. And they doing it for the free on YouTube. They got like the Earn Your Leisure University, and I'm thinking about doing that too. But yo, the stuff that they have on YouTube and the guests that they have, like mad respect to them boys, yo, because they really changing the culture with the shit that they doing.
And that's what it's about. Once you learn something, give back. Like Don't be selfish and like, oh, I made $100 million, or I did this on my own. It's that nah. How did you make this 100 million? What steps did you take? Teach somebody else so they can be in your community. Teach somebody else in your community, because if we really trying to build Black wealth, like, we got to stick together and actually bring each other up. That's the only way we're going to take over, if we build each other up. If we don't do that,
we're going to keep asking for help.
Yeah,
exactly.
And we're going to be stuck in the same.
But we got to stop making excuses, man.
Yeah,
we really do, bro.
Yeah,
it's on us now, bro.
Yeah,
it is. There's really no excuses anymore.
Yo, that's it. It really ain't, man. And like, yes, racism still exists, but it ain't but so much they could do. Exactly. And then a lot of them ain't gonna do the shit because we fight back now. Like, motherfuckers ain't scared no more. So we really need to dead that shit, and we need to start, number one, working on ourselves, and then working on our family, and then work your way out. Like, cause that's the only way. You can't skip your family and expect. You got to have a strong foundation, bro. Like, if you skip your family, then you scattering all over the place.
And that's the key. When you said once you work on yourself and you help your family, because once you help them, they're gonna help somebody else. Then they gonna help somebody else. So
shit spread,
that's the key. So it's like a wildfire. So once you do that and you help, like, yo, we as a culture really got to do that. And I mean, I feel like we're doing it a little bit better now, but we got to get it to at a wider level where everybody, just because you start a business and you did this, like, I don't want nobody else to know I did this, I did that. But nah, once I make it, I'm gonna tell you how I did it. Like, I did it this way.
Then we gotta stop being selfish.
Yeah. Nobody. I'm not. We're not. You shouldn't be jealous of your brother or somebody else because he made $100 million. Like, oh, I made $100 million. Yo, I'm gonna teach you how to make $100 million.
Yeah, and it's up to them to be receptive. Like, if we as a people together stop. Somebody got to be the bigger person. Like, if I'm making that amount of bread and I have the knowledge to be able to help somebody, I'm gonna help you regardless of if I feel like they like me or not, because that little piece of information can change their lives so much. You know what I'm saying? They'll become grateful for you. So you can't be on the same level as somebody that has lesser than, because they probably just like be able to give them information. And sometimes information ain't free though. Like, there's a lot of free information out there, but to have quick access to it without having to do your own, like, running around, sometimes, I ain't gonna lie, sometimes it's easier to pay for the information.
Listen, that's what I said. I said, for me, I'd rather pay or work for the information.
Yeah.
Like, one or the other. You gotta, like, if people gonna help you and get use their valuable time to help you out, I feel like you gotta show some kind of interest, or you gotta pay, or you gotta work for it. And a lot of people, like, who's in the consultant thing, they be like, all right, you want to talk about business? My rate is $400 an hour. Now, you might look at it crazy, but the knowledge he's going to give you is going to be worth it. It might make you, $100,000 or something like that. So you got to respect people's hustle too, and you got to respect people's time. That's another thing.
Yeah, no,
and invest in yourself, yo.
Yeah.
Like, yo, you have to invest in yourself. Like, I'm learning, like, yo, I'm quick to give out money. I don't really care about money. I want a lot of money for sure because of the lifestyle that money can provide in America. But I will give out money a lot of the times. I used to give out money before I even invest in myself. Like, if somebody say, yo, I need 6 bands, and I, like, love them, that's somebody I love, I'm like, all right, like, we'll figure it out. Boom, $6,000. But if it's $6,000 that I can pay for myself right there and learn something that can make me multiple, I'll start second guessing, like, damn, do I really want to spend $6? That shit don't even make sense.
You know what I'm saying? Giving out 6 bands.
Yeah, I mean, but one of y'all niggas need 6 bands.
A nigga like me be like, yo, I'm gonna help you get a loan, yo. Let's take you to the bank.
But imagine when we all can reach that level.
I'm learning.
When we all can reach that level to educate each other, like, yo, I'm about to give you the 6 bands, but you need to make something shake all this. But of course, everybody want to reach that level to where if your friend asks for, like, hey, yo, let me get a quick $100,000 real quick, I'll shoot it back to you. Mm-hmm. Like, all right, bet, I got you. No problem. I'm about to send it to you today. But I feel like that's how it got to be, and we all got to help each other. Not that this same friend gonna come back again, honey. Like, nah. Once I give you this, we gonna understand the knowledge behind it. We gonna understand, like, how to make you can make this the way you ain't got to come back and ask me again. That's the biggest thing. You got to teach them a lesson with it. Don't just freely give out money like, all right, you need this, I'm gonna send it. You need this, I'm gonna send it. You need this, I'm gonna send it. Nah, teach them how to what they say. You can teach a man how to fish. That way, well, yeah, you teach somebody how to fish. That way they can learn how to get fish and do this on their own versus just saying, nah, I ain't gonna show them how to fish. I'm just give them this. You gotta teach.
Can't be dependable, yo.
Yeah.
We can't be dependent on. We gotta obtain that information.
And that's I feel like that's what the government did to us. They made it where a lot of African Americans are dependent on them, and
especially Black women.
Yes, but that's where it goes back to welfare, and that they want people to be dependent. I'm gonna give you this money so much a month. You're gonna depend on this money. You dependent on this money. This check got to be here every month. This food stamps got to be here. So you depended on that. And not saying it's a bad thing.
No, it ain't a bad thing. But the crazy thing is, go ahead, Boogie.
But I was gonna say I was gonna say something else. But the fact that you said that dependent, like some women, let me tell you how crazy it is. Some women will they get a promotion with their job, but if they rent a certain Section 8, they not gonna take that promotion because they're like, oh, if I make too much money, I gotta pay this every month. Like, that's the crazy thing right there. Yeah. That's like,
yeah, yo, it's a lot.
Some people don't even want to grow as a human being. They're
exactly,
and that's the biggest thing. Like, if you get
think they beating the system.
Yeah, if you getting $1,000 check from the government every month, why not say, all right, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take this 1,000 and try to figure out how to get us out of this versus saying, let's just keep getting this money from the government. They giving it. I'm gonna just keep getting it versus saying, I'm about to run the game on them far as they gonna give me this $1,000. I'm gonna take some of this and try to start a business and do this. Now you won't even have to start a business, but find a way to get your family out of that. That way you ain't got to keep depending on that money every month. And that's kind of what we want to get as a culture. We want to get towards that because that's why they feel like they got a hold on us. Because they feel like we need them.
But check this out, though. Check this out. They give you money, and then they tell you where you can spend your money.
Exactly.
You don't even have control. Like, they give you food stamps, and they say, all right, but you got to go to Walmart. You got to go to such and such.
You got to go to the hood store.
Yeah. You only can get this brand if it's Wick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is the brand. And it's like, who are you looking out? Who are you working with? Like, it's crazy. It's deep. Like, now
it really does.
Yeah.
Like all of that shit, man. Like, they did a hell of a job on this system they created, bro.
Yeah.
And it's only in our own mind. They did a good job, but we got to realize, like, yo, I just got to change my mind, and all this shit changes.
Yeah.
Like that we on, but they did such a good job at grooming us into the system, like from kids. Like, they groom you into the system that's what you believe. Like, you believe that shit is the right way. Like, I hear people saying this shit, like, yo, when I was kid, my grandma ain't did this. Like, raising their kids these days, like, bro, that you don't want to raise them like your grandma, or your great grandmother, or your parents raised you. You want to raise them a little bit better. So you gotta really learn you gotta unlearn a lot of the shit that you learn and relearn and then educate. Like, that's it.
By any means, don't take what I said and just say I'm not gonna take the government money no more. Basically, what we saying, build off of it. If they gonna give you something, build off of it. Use it and get away from what they doing. Don't just say wake up in the morning and say, all right, nah, I'm gonna just stop. Nah, run game on them. They're running game on you.
You gotta beat the system. Like, I wonder, I be putting myself, yo, if you were, I tell people, like, yo, I can lose everything. As long as I don't lose my mind, I'll be right back here. Like, give me a couple months. Like, it ain't gonna take me long because I done did it. I done lost everything. Like, I done lost everything except for my mind and, like, building myself back up. Yo, I be playing that shit in my head like, yo, if I was homeless, if I lost everything right now, Grip, if you were homeless right now, and but tomorrow you became homeless, how would you start building yourself back up?
By trying to find a way to get, and you can't
go to family. No family. It's just you.
No. I mean, and it's in a certain aspect of my life, I went through something like that.
That's a good question.
As far as, like, I didn't have no place to stay, and I had to rely on me and what I had and relationships I built with people. And when I say that, as far as all right, I'm gonna go here, but I need to make this move to make something happen. And like, long as your mind, like you say, long as your mind is good, you can get back to where you need to be.
Okay, so what would you do right now? Like, if you just lost everything right now, you were homeless. How would you work your way back up to at least comfortable?
So if you're saying if I'm homeless, but I still got a job, right?
No, you ain't got no job. You don't got nothing.
Nothing. You say to them all, you out in the street with the clothes on your back.
Yeah, that's
it.
You can't phone a friend. None of that shit.
And with my mind that I know, what I know now, I have to find a way to create a hustle to get this money back.
I always think of this though.
Me too.
I have to find a way to create a hustle to get this money back and use the technology, use what I know around me to get this money back, and not even get money back, but to make moves to where I have shelter first. Once I got shelter, find a job and just work from there.
See, that's those big ass steps.
Mm-hmm.
Like that shit don't just happen like that. I'm sure, because you homeless.
I'm pretty sure, and I never really sat down and actually talked to a homeless person. I mean, because I never really sat down and talked to somebody who lost everything, meaning job, house, car, everything. They don't got nothing. I never really.
Nigga, but I feel like everybody should be prepared for that shit because it could happen. That's something nobody expects. That shit is like death, yo. Like every day we getting closer to our death, but nobody don't want to prepare for it.
Yeah.
Like if you don't prepare for that shit, you leaving the burden for somebody else to prepare for it. One of your loved ones, they can't even grieve. So number one, people need to prepare for death. Number two, bro, I already planned that shit in my head. Like if I was homeless, bro, I would be like, all right, shit, what I need to do. I'm gonna either be pumping air in somebody's tire for money. I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna wash cars at the car wash where people paying for it. Instead of y'all washing it, I'll wash that shit. Y'all can stay in the car. Y'all can put y'all money in the machine. I'll wash that shit for money. And then I'll get a gym membership at like Planet Fitness, right? So I get a gym membership, $10 a month. Of course, I'll get a bank account or whatever.
You get an online bank account. That's it.
Exactly. Up. Then get a gym membership, so I have a place to take a shower, and I can work out. And they got pizza every first Monday. So some shit like that. So I'm gonna get a gym membership, so I can wash. Blah blah blah. I'm gonna go to like an apartment complex, and I'm gonna steal somebody's clothes out of the washing rack, so I can have changing clothes. And then I'm gonna start applying for jobs. I'm gonna
still that shit at the gym. You know, some people don't be locking their lockers.
Exactly. And then,
right.
Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a little whip so I can live in that shit. Now I ain't in the streets no more. So I'm in the car. I can move around how I want to, and then I can get a better job because I got transportation. And then I'm gonna get a little spot. Then I'm back in the game.
I feel like when you say like it can happen. I feel like you would lose something big first. You probably lose.
I'll be sleeping in the massage beds, yo.
Niggas will get that nap in comfortably.
Yeah.
When you say it can happen to any of us, explain what you mean. So you mean one day you can wake up and you lost your car, your job, everything in an instant, your bank account,
everything that we see physically, bro, can be taken away from us like this. We just don't know how.
It can, but I'm saying like, so you saying you can lose everything in a day, or you can lose it
in one day.
I feel like you can lose everything.
Say you ain't got a job.
No, I'm saying you saying it can happen. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So you can lose everything in a day.
You can lose everything.
Yeah, it's possible.
Or you can lose something. You can lose something so important to you that everything else don't matter.
Yeah. Okay.
Like one of the two.
It's very possible. I know people that got their house burnt down.
But if you get your house burned down, you still
renting. They was renting and they didn't have renter insurance.
You got your house burned down, but you still got a job though.
No, so I'm just saying, what if, like, say if you're in a situation where you lost everything, you back on your bills, right?
Yeah.
You come home, the crib you was renting got burnt down. You don't have rental insurance. You lost everything. And then you got laid off and you got fired from your job. You might get that last check.
That's a hell of a day.
So before you get that last check, you know, you ain't got nothing in your checkings or savings account because you living paycheck to paycheck.
So basically, you talking like a pursuit of happiness type of thing, right?
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
But you know what's crazy? That happens to a lot of people.
No, you're right. It does. But God, man.
People come home. People get laid off, or the work is slow, or something happened and there's no production going on, and they was living paycheck to paycheck, and the business got slow. And just think about the immigrants, the legal aliens that come here. That happens to them all the time. People that come in this country, like it might be a slow time.
Yeah,
You know what
bro.
I mean?
People, I feel like some stuff people do need to mentally prepare for, bro.
No, you're right. You're
the more,
definitely right.
yeah, the more mental, like they say, at a time of peace, prepare for war. Because if you wait late, shit, you gonna have to take that L.
Because to be honest with what you're saying now, because like when this pandemic hit, nobody.
I think it's easy, yo. I think we got it good as a homeless people, because people that come in this country, they come in here with nothing,
and they
in the street. They be fucking hopping on trains and running through.
Yo, you know what? You know why
mean?
foreigners be more successful when they come here, bro? Because they not educated like us.
Yeah.
We educated to like be the way that we are. They not. So they come here and they be like, yo, y'all ain't taking advantage of these opportunities. Y'all
The problem with education
right.
thing, we was educated to know how to take a test. Like,
it's the craziest thing you said it, because I just had that conversation the other day. Like, we got to stop educating these kids in school just to pass a test or just to get good scores to make, because the test is not going to tell how you're going to be in the next 5 years. Is then the third. If you can be somebody who passed the test with flying colors, next 5 years you can't find a job, you can't do this, you can't do that. So that test, even like with teachers, like a teacher can take a test and pass the test with flying colors, and they the worst teachers in the world.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, this is what we was programmed. Like, this test would tell us that you will be the most successful person.
We measuring the wrong shit.
Yeah, you're right.
You're right, though. Tweezy, what you saying with foreigners is true, because they come down here, they master our credit systems, they get loans, and they start opening businesses.
And they know 2 languages.
Yeah.
The Americans probably the only people in the world that only know 1 language, and that's fucking American English. Ain't even real English.
That's crazy.
American English. And then we got the nerve to call other people that come to this country, be like, yo, you don't understand English? Like, nigga, I understand English and Spanish. Like, you the dumb one. You only know American English, and that shit ain't right.
That's crazy, yo.
Yo, it really is, bro. And yo, and another thing is, like, those foreigners, like, I got the opportunity to ride around with a foreigner one time, man. One of the things that he said was like, man, we take risks. It was an Indian guy. Like, he take risks. We take risks. If we lose one time, then we just gonna double it up the next time, and we gonna, big risk, big reward. So I know we was having a conversation earlier in the week, and we were like, Grip asked the question. Well, one of us asked the question, what's the difference between a risk and a gamble? So what y'all think the difference is between a risk and a gamble?
You want me to start it off?
You can start off.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like gamble, you have no control of the outcome. And the risk is like, all right, I'm gonna do this and that, but you're more of in control.
Yeah,
so
I agree with that.
You're more in control. So, see, I'm a risk of opening this business, but you're in control of this business. Gamble is like, I'm gonna bet on this team, but you have no control of that issue. So
yeah, the odds are highly against you in a gamble. I feel like.
Yeah, but I feel like a calculated risk is a calculated risk is a lot. I feel like it's a big difference between a calculated risk and a regular risk. The reason they're both a risk, right? But a calculated risk meaning you've done your homework and you know the numbers and you know this, you know that. So I'm gonna take this risk because I know what it can produce, and I did my homework on this.
Okay. So what is a regular risk?
A regular risk is you're going in it without really knowing the outcome. You don't know the outcome of this and the third. You didn't do your homework on it. I'm a risk.
I think that's a gamble.
Huh?
That's a gamble.
That's a gamble.
It's a risk though.
So what's a gamble then?
I look at gamble as I look at gambling as gambling on like a game or whatnot. Like if I gamble, I think the Chicago Bulls should let's say the 96 Bulls should beat the Supersonics because they're the better team.
Okay, so what's the difference between you betting, like So what's the difference between a gamble and a risk? You're saying a calculated risk and a risk are two different things. So what's the difference between a gamble and a risk to you?
I feel like a gamble. I feel like a gamble. If I go to this table, I feel like a gamble and a risk is the same thing for me personally. I feel like they're both the same. The reason why I say that is because if I go to this table, I'm taking this risk to spend this money. But let's say I'm playing blackjack. Mm-hmm. I'm about to take this risk and spend $20 and gamble that I think if I say hit, I'm gonna win. That's why I feel like they're both the same, but a calculated risk separates it. That's what I feel. That's how I feel.
I think the way how you got risks and gambles is I think you should swap the meaning. I think you said you don't think you have any control with a risk. I disagree.
A calculated risk, you got control. Because I mean, if you look at the definition of a risk, right? A risk is something you don't have too much. If you look at the definition,
so is gambling a calculated risk to you?
No, gambling is a risk to me.
It's not calculated.
No,
man. But a gamble and a risk, two totally different things to me, bro.
Yeah, to you. But I see them both as the same because the definition of a risk is something you do without really thinking about it. You take that risk, right? A gamble is a gamble. What's the definition of a risk then? Tell me what the definition of a risk is.
Let me see. You sent it to me the other day.
I think risk is something you got more control of.
Yeah. Like when you take risks, you're actually measuring.
Yeah, you're taking
the reward. You're measuring the reward.
But that's a calculated risk when you measure the reward.
But it's still a risk. It's still a risk.
A risk is a situation involving exposure to danger, right?
Okay.
That's it.
Now that should be having multiple definitions. You just saying one that fits your argument
in simpler terms, risk is the Okay, hold on. In simpler terms, risk is the possibility of something bad happening. Risk involves uncertainty about an effect, implications of an activity with respect to something that humans value. That to me, that sounds like a gamble.
Okay, so what's the definition of gamble?
Hold on.
Yeah,
I got you. Gamble. A gamble. The definition of a gamble is taking risky actions in the hope of a desired result.
Man, see, I feel that's what I'm saying. So
that's why I feel like they're both the same.
The key word in that is hope to me. So when I gamble something, I'm just hoping. I ain't got no education on it.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping that the cards land how they land and it's in my favor. When
I don't know, because when you gamble, you if you're gambling on games and stuff, right? Like people who gamble on games, because like I told you the other day, I feel like it's a calculated gamble and a calculated risk as well. The reason why I say that is because a calculated gamble is when you actually done your research and you done your homework to understand like he normally scores this many points, but you're still taking this risk on him because you thinking he about to score this many points, right?
No, that's a gamble. I feel like when you gambling, but it's outside of you. When you taking a risk, you betting on yourself. Yeah. Like, cause that's a risk. You betting on yourself. If you taking a gamble, you
just think about it. I'm a risk going to this place. I'm a risk driving at night. I'm a risk, working
you betting on yourself.
You're betting on yourself. Yeah.
But when gambling, you betting on something else. You betting on something outside of your control that probably ain't got nothing to do with you. You're just you side betting pretty much.
But a risk, like if you was the risk,
and think about it, a risk can be in your favor too. Gambling,
but if
most
you was
of the time is not in your favor.
A risk,
and the house always win.
So like if you was to take a risk to buy a house and renovate it and the third, that's a risk.
Yes, that's the point we make.
But hold on. I also feel like that's a gamble to me though, because you're taking a gamble because you thinking it's gonna pan out the way you hope it will, but it's not. Like you don't know the outcome of it because the market. Hold on, listen to what I'm about to say, because the market could go sour, or like we said earlier, like you think you're gonna get this return, nobody might not buy the house, this, that, and the third. So that's why I feel like it's a gamble, because there's a lot of things that play into it as well when you're flipping a house, right?
Yeah, so I feel like when you flipping a house, you should do the homework to know what the market value is and what's happening. Yeah. So
that's a risk though, right?
Yeah, it's a risk, not a gamble.
Yeah.
But that's why I say I feel like it's still a gamble, because a gamble is like when you let me tell you the definition of a gamble.
Remember, the house always wins. So
to play a game for money or property, to bet on an uncertain outcome.
Uncertain.
So I feel like
risk.
hold on. I feel like flipping houses is an uncertain outcome. You don't know the outcome of this flip, right? Do you?
I don't know. Yeah, you're right. But I don't feel, the reason why I don't feel like that's a gamble is because of the amount of research that you do behind it. Like when you
then that's a calculated risk. Then if you do the research,
yes, it's a calculated risk, but it's still a risk, not a gamble. It's not a calculated gamble.
I feel
it's
like
a calculated risk. To me.
Okay.
That's my philosophy.
Okay, I got you.
I think a risk is possible dangers if it does fail. Gamble is hope.
A risk has been exposed to danger.
Exactly, but it's it's calculated. It's like, all right.
But then that's a calculated risk. You just said a risk.
You can take risks that's in your favor though.
First off, let's not keep saying it's a risk, because there's a difference between a calculated risk and a risk.
No, it's the same.
If you look at the definition, there are two different definitions.
It's just a type of risk. That's all.
But
I agree. It's a type of it, but it's a difference though.
But that's just like saying a baby is a type of human,
Yeah.
And an adult is a type of human. It's still a human.
It's a human, but a baby is completely different from an adult.
But they're the same.
They are still a human, but it's a complete difference. That's what I'm saying.
I don't think it's complete. They're just bigger.
It is a complete difference as far as brain, the way they think, this, that, and the third.
The organs are the same. The organs are the same.
But the way they think and the way they perform, the way they walk, it's a complete different. The way
you're talking about intelligibles.
What? No, that's a part of a human though. Like, so when a baby cannot, if we're talking about a regular baby, a baby can't run, a baby can't do all these physical things that a full-grown human being could do.
Yeah. Okay. So compare that to risk and calculated risk.
A risk and a calculated risk, meaning like with a risk, you just take it without even doing homework on it. Like, I'm gonna take this risk. I'm gonna take
gambling.
This risk.
But certain gambling games can be calculated risk, believe it or not.
Yeah. But I feel like I call it a calculated gamble, because when you do your homework on something, like, I don't think it's just because like we said before, like with sports betting, like a lot of people do their homework on this and they know they got it down to a science, and they went big off this stuff because they got it down to a science.
So if you pay a person, when you gamble, you paying that person to beat you, like that, pretty much. So if you go to gamble, like, the house is always gonna win. Yeah, you might win $100,000, but they still probably won $100,000 off of you. So that gamble is like, yo, I just want a piece of the pie. Like, when you take a risk, I feel like you betting on yourself and you putting your whole self into that thing, and you take the whole thing with you. You take everything that you came for. To me, that's what the difference in a risk and a gamble to me.
Okay.
Word.
No, that was. I respect your point of view on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a different point of view?
I mean, I said my point of view. I feel like you're more in control of a risk.
Yeah, I do too.
I don't know.
Everything that I ain't gambling. I don't even gamble, bro. Like, I know go ahead.
I still not. I don't really gamble that much anymore.
Nah, I told Grip, shit, ain't nothing wrong with gambling. I just don't gamble because I don't.
I think like sports betting, that's the funnest way to gamble, yo. I'm telling you. You start watching hockey and everything, because you can make big money with little money with sports betting.
Yeah. But you can lose money too.
You definitely could.
That's the thing.
I lost a lot of money.
I feel like you'll lose more than you win, so I just want to stay away from that shit.
Right.
Because I don't like losing, especially if it's some shit that I don't have no control over. Like, I'm just hoping.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I gotta say so in, and if I can move the pieces
like
a little bit.
Slot machines.
Yeah.
Like, you ain't got no control over them damn gambling machines, yo.
Not at all, bro. That's just hope. That's hope.
That's that robot mind thing we talking about. They even screwing us over our money with these damn machines.
Yeah, and then the machines be attached to the lottery.
Yeah.
The government
selling us all hope. That's what the lottery is, selling us all hope.
They say only poor people gamble on shit. Like, only poor people play the lottery. They say ain't no rich person, ain't nobody that's rich really trying to get rich off of hope. Like they ain't going to scratch no tickets to try to hit big every single day. Like, yo, I wonder how much these lottery players that be playing every day, how much they be spending, yo, before they win.
Man, I see people come. Yeah, I used to see people come like when they get paid and they used to spend like $500-$600 on scratch offs, yo.
Yeah, you're right.
That's it. Oh shit.
Well, they be.
But you want to know the setup for it because they even came up with shows like a show like people who win the lottery, what they do this and the third, so they keep people playing like, and the show kind of like, yeah, it was just this one lucky day, and I played my ticket and I won $100 million, and you like, dang, that could be me if I keep playing. That might be that one day.
Shit. That don't make no sense to me. I just can't do it.
But I feel like that's crazy though, because it's one day. Feel like you never play, and sometimes it was for people who never played the lottery before, and they just played one day.
It'd be hard for me to believe those stories, man.
Yeah, no, you're right. I see what you're saying, but I was thinking like, dang, one day you just decide I'm gonna play, and then you hit.
Yo, you know how much like the universe got to be on your side for that to happen on a line like that.
And let's say somebody in your family been playing every day of their life. They probably be tight with
salty.
you.
Bro, the day I hit the lottery, I don't know.
I don't even know how to play the lottery, yo.
I wouldn't even tell nobody.
I remember one time I went home, my mom sent me to the store to play the lottery, and I had to call her back when I got there. I'm like, so you told me to play these numbers, how? Like, I don't understand it. And I'm talking to the cashier lady.
I want all one straight, like all that shit.
Yeah, and the cashier lady was looking at me like,
box, all that
please,
shit.
like, it's different ways you can do it. I was like, hold on, I got to understand because I don't really know myself. I know how to play scratch. Of course, scratch offs to me are like, you can either just scratch it off, but playing the lottery, no, I don't understand.
Boy, them old heads be playing the mess out of them lottery tickets. They know, they be like, yo, you can put $5 to get $3,000. If you do it straight, then you can do it a box. And
you know what's
like,
crazy,
I be like,
yo?
I don't know nothing about none of this.
Let me tell you how evil the lottery thing in the hood is, yo. This is how they get you. You be playing the lottery for like 10 years. You done spent money on scratch off tickets. And then after 10 or 15 years, I'm like, oh, here's $3,000. Little you know, you probably spent like 15 already.
Yeah, exactly, bro.
They get your mouth all watery for that couple little thousand you win.
And then once you win that 3,000, you go back like, all right, I'm hot right now.
Yeah.
Yo, I wonder if that's what that joint is a drug, bro.
It is. Even gambling is a drug though, because I don't know who I was talking to one time, but I was like, the people who get in like crazy debt gambling, like they gambling like what they bet like $100,000 or putting their houses up, putting their cars up, doing this and doing that, and they losing. Like, how do you like that's crazy.
Yo, so I'm glad you said that. So I don't think taking risk is a drug.
It can. I feel like it can be if you don't know how to control it. Because some people can keep taking risks. Like, I mean, because you saw instances like, say, like this one guy, like, oh, I'm about to open this business. I'm about to do this, and he's draining the family broke because he keep trying to open all these businesses, this, that, and the third, and it's never happened.
He's gambling.
But he's taking a risk because he's betting on himself. That's what you said.
Nah, he really ain't. He ain't betting on himself if he just hopping, putting money in the thing, because he ain't putting himself into it. He just.
No, what I'm saying, if he's trying to start these different business and they're not, and they're not hit, he's taking a risk every time to start these businesses. He's draining the family income.
Yo, I truthfully feel like there's a market for every business. You just gotta find it, yo. Like I don't feel like.
I don't know because there's certain stuff like out here, like say like if you want to start a certain stuff out here that go out of style quick, like business, like certain business that's gonna be there forever, but certain stuff you got to catch it when it's hot, and if you get on it too late, you're not gonna make money off of it. Bro,
that ain't no bent. That's a trend. You got to know the difference. Like you got to have an exit strategy for some shit like that.
Yeah.
Well, that's a trend. That ain't really a business.
But I mean, let's say what business I'm thinking about. Let's say if you buy a bunch of, let's say people are into like these glam lights, right? Let's say people are into glam lights.
Mm-hmm.
Like now, the people are really into it because they're in front of computers. So yeah, it's hot right now.
Right.
But a couple years from now, will it still be hot?
You got to find the next thing. You got to evolve your business.
Yeah. No, you're definitely right.
Or that.
Yeah, you got to
do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, fellas, yo, the conversations tonight, yo, I learned a lot about, even before we started the show, we had a good conversation. We had a whole good conversation just about credit and other things. So, I mean, I learned a lot tonight just from every time I talk to y'all. I learned a lot.
Man, that's a fact, bro.
Every
There's a lot
time,
of people
bro.
that can't do that with their little circle of friends, bro.
And if you can't, you need to get you a circle of friends that's gonna help elevate you versus just. I
Word.
think I saw somebody post something like that today. Like if you in your group of friends and y'all talking about the good old days all the time, like, and y'all ain't talking about
The
elevating or the future or getting money or doing this, like, y'all can't keep living on the past.
Yeah, your friends should definitely be a part of your growth.
Yeah.
Like if y'all not growing, yo, I can't lie, and I ain't willing to everybody listen. Every single time we talk, even if it's one-on-one or if it's a group that we talking, we learn something, yo. Like you gotta be willing to learn every day, like today, tomorrow, every single day. Like you be learning something, because the stuff that you learn in school ain't enough to get you nowhere. It's so much other information out here that you can get exposed to, and it'll change your life. Just with one little small piece of information can change the trajectory of your life, yo. And I think I'm experiencing that right now, especially with us talking as much as we do, like about certain things. Like I see a paradigm shift coming for my family just from, my circle of friends. So that shit is important, yo.
That's dope. That's dope. So my quote for tonight would be: determination, energy, and courage appear spontaneous when we care deeply about something. We take risks that are unimaginable in any other content. And that's from Margaret Wheatley.
Yeah, that one's good too, yo.
Yeah, that was
Let that one sing.
That was a great one.
Yeah.
So y'all don't like my other quotes then?
that last episode was kind of funky. Yeah. I still ain't got that one yet.
Hey, well,
say another quote.
I said something else if I gotta say that.
Who said that? That's what
Boogie said that.
Listen, I can't say a word. I find another word to substitute it with. Same thing with spelling. If I can't spell this word, I'm gonna find something that's close to it.
Synonyms for previously.
Yeah.
What was it called? Positively. That's what you said.
You gotta adapt, man. You gotta know how to finesse this thing, man. Right.
That's why I don't like the English language. Too many words mean the same shit.
Right. All right, everybody. Hey, what's up, man? Everybody, y'all need to come like, subscribe, follow us. We on all platforms. Show us some love. Comment. Let us know what you think.
Word.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, we need that.
We love the input, man. We love it. Trust me.
It helps us, yo. It helps us more than what y'all think.
And tell a friend to tell a friend to tell another friend.
Yeah. All right, so until next time, y'all, we'll see y'all next week.